Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from Group A. My name is Sophia and my partner AIZATUL are going to present LCC, short form for Life Cycle Costing. What is life cycle costing? As for definition of life cycle costing, it is the process of compiling all costs that the owner or producer of an asset will incur over its lifespan. These costs include the initial investment, future additional investment, and annual recurring costs minus any salvage value. However, according to White and Oswald in 1976, it is the sum of all expenditures made in support of an item from its conception and manufacture to its operation to the end of its useful life. Life cycle costing first established by William J. Coleridge in 1979. It is a method of analysis that considers all expenses associated with a product from conception to disposal. The history of LCC began in the U.S. Department of Defense in the mid-1960s. In 1971, RICS, the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, devised a method for collecting data on building running costs. BMCIS, Building Maintenance Cost Information Service. In 1977, the British Ministry of Industry issued a document titled Life Cycle Costing in Asset Management. Flanagan Norman published a framework for data collecting applicable for establishing a project LCC in 1983. Several research projects have recently been carried out with the objective of establishing the LCC methodology for the construction industry. Since 1992, the concept of LCC has been approved as a British standard. In 2000, the LCC definition was updated and included in ISO 15686 Part 1, Service Life Planning. From what I understand, conducting a life cycle cost assessment will help you to predict how much your business will pay when you acquire a new asset. Besides, before calculating an asset's life cycle cost, we need to estimate the sum expenses such as purchase, installation, operation, maintenance, financing, for example interest, depreciation, and also disposal. In addition, LCC is commonly used in engineering and production and also customer services. In the field of engineering and production, life cycle costing is used to improve and manufacture goods that are inexpensive to install, operate, maintain, and dispose. Nevertheless, the life cycle costing in the customer services field is to reduce the amount of warranty, replacement, and field service work that is performed on products over their useful lives. Moreover, life cycle costing in general consists of an initial investment and the follow-on costs. So that's all from me. Now I want to pass the presentation to my partner AIZATUL.
Okay, thank you Sophia. So now we will move to next topic, which is method to determine life cycle cost. There are various methods that can be used to determine life cycle costs, which are deterministic, estimation by analogy, and stochastic, which is probabilistic approach. For deterministic, it is an approach where a detailed analysis is undertaken and the actual cost of each element is cost. This might be the most accurate means of undertaking the analysis, and it is dependent on being able to obtain accurate information on which to base the calculation of cost. For estimation by analogy, in cases where new product have similar elements to other product for which the company has experience, the cost information of similar product can be used to estimate the likely cost of the new product. This utilizes the previous experience of the company, and in some industry where new product development is a key to organizational success, a body of experience can be built up that provide the basis of reasonable estimate. And the last method is stochastic, which is probabilistic approach. Probability can be applied to the cost to create expected value since many costs are estimated. Previous experience can be utilized to generate a statistical analysis. For example, failure rates, learning curve effect and so on can be calculated based on previous product and used to help the life cycle cost of new product. Next is benefits of practicing life cycle cost. As we know, life cycle cost is an important method of evaluating the total cost of ownership among other alternatives. But why life cycle cost is important? Because it has so many benefits such as greater transparency of future costs. At the development and design stages, life cycle costing demands a consideration of all expenses that are spent through the whole supply chain. Okay, next benefit is encourage cooperation through the supply chain. The use of life cycle costing encourage organization to collaborate throughout the supply chain. This allows for a far better awareness of the costs and consequences of actions made by all partners within the supply chain. Okay, next is good in forecasting. Life cycle costing gives a better knowledge of costs, allowing the future costs to be expected. If we understand the stages of life cycle, it makes it easier to prepare for the resources required, as well as to budget for the cost of these resources in advance to improve forecasting. However, as experience is gained for life cycle costing, prediction may be produced based on prior experience, which can improve the accuracy of forecasts. However, life cycle costing also has some unavoided drawbacks, which are time-consuming and resource-intensive. If detailed cost estimates are to be obtained for every stage of the product life cycle, it adds more time to the new product development process, especially if the third party in the supply chain are to be involved. Next drawback is accuracy of data. It is always difficult to estimate the future costs, especially in instances where there is no track record or no similar experience on which the estimate can be based. This means that some form of sensitivity analysis or application of probability is required. Estimation by analogy based on previous experience can help to alleviate some of the issues surrounding the accuracy of data. Okay, the last drawback is technology changes. Estimating cost over the life can be difficult enough, but also anticipating technology changes that might impact on the cost of production can be almost impossible to forecast. This illustrates why life cycle costing needs to be revisited during the product life cycle as changes occur. For example, consider the case of software products that are now supplied online instead of via a physical disc, or books that are now available as e-books as well as hard copy. In these cases, the technology has changed the delivery method, reduced the need to hold inventory, and impacted on the production cost, and potentially changed the nature of the product. Okay, next I would like to talk about the last topic, that is implication of using life cycle costing analysis. First implication is pricing, where life cycle cost will give an impact on the price, especially if it used in conjunction with target costing. The increased demand for sustainability to be designed into product may have implication for pricing, as who is gonna pay for the recycling of material at the end of the product's life. Second implication is performance management. Life cycle costs can provide us the basis for performance management if we understand the technique. It is important that the organization monitors performance for the purpose of learning how it can improve in the future, since budget will often be set based on the estimate at the business case stage of the new product development process and will be refined at the commercialization stage. And the last implication is decision making, where life cycle cost can have implication for decision other than just new product development. For example, make or buy decision, purchase or lease, affordability, comparison of product and vendor can all benefit from the technique of life cycle costing. So in conclusion, life cycle costing analysis is one of the strategic management accounting technique, which it is the process of compiling all costs that the owner or producer of an asset will incur over its lifespan. And we learn when it is being introduced, how the process of life cycle costing work, what is the method, benefit and drawback of this technique. So that's all from us. Thank you.